Hi everyone. We have today a very special person who is a health professional, and let's wait until she joins. Meanwhile, you can put all your questions in the comment section or else in the question section. We will take all of your questions after the interaction.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Dr.
Hi.
Ruhi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very well.
So let's start.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, hi everyone. I'm Samyati from Girls Buzz. We are a community by women and for women. Today we have with us Dr. Ruhi Satija, who is a psychiatrist and an amazing counselor, to be true. And she is with us to decode everything and anything about work-life balance. So, Dr. Ruhi, if I missed out anything about yourself, please just let us know. Our audience would love to connect with you.
How sweet. No, you actually added the extra adjectives. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. So, yes, I'm a psychiatrist and psychotherapist. I practice in Mumbai as well as I do practice online as well. So, that's pretty much my work. Apart from that, I'm a corporate trainer and I do conduct a lot of workshops on different topics, work life balance being one of them. So, I'm happy that
Yeah.
we're talking about that today.
Thank you so much for joining today. So this is the information for those who are watching us. Please, if you have any kind of question, please put down there in the comment section. We
Yeah.
will take all of your questions. Um, so to begin with, Dr. Ruhi, as we are talking about work-life balance, so we would love to know about what exactly work-life balance is.
Right. Okay. So I'll give two definitions here. One is the technical thing that I need to teach you, and one is what I feel that is practically more valid. Okay. Which I think will
Okay,
help
yeah,
a little bit more. It works more with my clients. So I'll give you both approaches. When we talk about work and life balance, okay, it simply means that you have an occupation which is paying your bills. It can be your passion as well, no problem with that. But then you have your life, which means your family, your relationships, your social life, you as a person that you need your
yeah,
time for. Okay. So there is a
right,
balance between both. Now, balance is a subjective feeling. For example, for somebody, it can be that I have to meet my friends 3 times a week, otherwise, I can't survive. And there are people like me
yeah,
who haven't met their friends in 3 years and they're okay, right? So
okay,
there is
yeah,
no one definition for work life balance. It is an individual difference. Okay. Individual can decide what is a work life balance for me, right? If I'm
okay,
a new
yeah,
mom, I have a 1 year old, I know that most of my time should go towards him. Whereas somebody who has a 13-year old does not need to necessarily spend that much time for the child, right? So what is the
Yeah,
balance here?
right.
Now I can't say that 4 hours you spend with your kid. No, your kid doesn't need 4 hours of your day, or maybe they need 10
Yes.
hours of your day, right? So
Yeah.
it has to be defined by you. Basically what we are trying to say with work life balance is that the life that you are leading is something that you are satisfied with. When you're working, you
Right.
feel like working because you're feeling motivated about it, excited about it, and you're not feeling regret and resentment that, why am I here? I should be home. Then when you're at home, you're feeling that, I'm a woman and I had to let go of my career. Why am I sitting at home, taking care of
Yeah.
everybody? Why am I not at work? So that is imbalance, right?
Yeah.
So when we talk about work-life balance, simply put, you have divided your 24 hours in a certain way and you are happy with it. That means you're balanced. If you're not able to do that, that means you're imbalanced,
Right.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next thing would be like nowadays people are working in hybrid mode, both work from home and also they are going to office.
Right.
So how does that impact work-life balance in your opinion?
So again, when the pandemic hit and every one of us were in this
Yeah.
mode, except the doctors, to be honest, we didn't have that.
Yes.
We were constantly in front. But then I
Yeah.
saw both the aspects. There were people who were absolutely happy about it. That this is the best thing that happened to them. And then there were people who were getting frustrated. I
Yes.
remember that, in the very beginning of pandemic, I had some patients who were just, so desperate to get out. And it just clicked my mind that we, work our half of our life to build a home. We've worked so hard
Yes.
towards a relationship to have a family, and then now is the time where we can sit with them, spend time with them, and we are frustrated.
Yeah.
Something to think about, right? How did this
Right.
happen that you were only working to buy that house that you wanted, get that partner that you wanted, have the kids that you wanted, and now you don't want to
Yes.
sit with them, you're getting frustrated with them? That's the imbalance, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
then there are people who suddenly realize this freedom that, I'm saving 2 or 3 hours a day of my commute, and then the work I'm
Yes.
doing able to do it much more. Then I'm doing it at the comfort of the home. I know that, we all saw the videos and we all did that where we had blazers on the top and then pajamas in the
Yeah. Yeah.
bottoms,
Yes.
that was really cool, right? That
Yes.
was really fun
Yeah.
to do it, right? So who says that which one is better? And to be honest, so many people I know, they left their corporate jobs in the field that I just can't do it anymore. I know of
Yeah.
lawyers whose whole, I literally, her whole goal was that, she needs to reach this company and become a partner. And then she realized that, no, this is not for me. I don't know who I'm doing this for. She left the
Yeah.
job and she's doing so much better, right? So again, this is a subjective question. We have both the extremes here. There were people who loved it and there were people who just went crazy, right? So we
Yes.
need to have a hard look on ourselves, that what are we doing?
Right.
Did we choose the right partner? Did we choose the right home? Do we actually
Yeah.
want to be there, right? And now if we
Yeah.
want to be there, why are we so desperate about that job that we don't like? Both
Yes.
the ways, right? So
Yeah.
this happened with the pandemic. I think it was, of course, it was a difficult time, but yes, for some people there was a silver lining. They got a lot of perspective of, what is happening in their life and how they would like to move forward. I know there
Yes.
was one time when I wanted to start a rehab, and I wanted to have 100 patients under me. Now I'm seriously doubting it because I don't think that I have that much of energy. I would definitely like to do something more online where I know that I can, sit at home and sit with my kid
Yes.
and, be there and then do the work. It's the same thing. I'm still
Yeah.
seeing 100 patients, but the model is different, right? So
Yeah.
that's where, I chose my balance.
Absolutely. I agree completely whatever you said, Dr. Ruhi. Like in between the mismatched schedules and imbalance in life,
Yeah.
how do you think this has affected our mental health?
Yeah. So this is where I will give my part of the story. Okay. So,
Yeah. Okay.
I've been doing these corporate workshops and they call me for the work life balance. And to be honest, it will be very, very, fake for me to say that I know all the techniques. Am I
Yeah.
balanced? Absolutely no. Right?
Yes.
So, in the last 2 years, I actually understood a very important concept of work life management. I
Management.
hate
Yeah.
the work balance. Balance
Yeah.
means you're telling me your kid needs 6 hours today. That means whatever time is left, just divide it. This is sleep, this is for work, this is for your cooking,
Yeah.
this is for taking care of, etc. Now, let's say
Yeah.
today my kid was a bit clingy. He took 8 hours. Or today my
Right.
patient was a bit, anxious and he needed more time from me. So where did
Yes.
the time go? Now I can get frustrated that, oh my God, I
Right.
didn't treat my 6 hours with the baby. Oh my God, I didn't sit in the OPD. I missed that one patient I could help. Right? No
Right.
point in that.
Yeah.
So instead of that time, how do you
Yes.
manage this? So what I know is I have my goals. I have my
Yeah.
yearly goals, I have my monthly goals, I have my weekly goals. I know this is what I want to do with my kid. These are the memories I want to create. For example, this week I just want to color with him. Right? He's one
Yeah.
year old, so I'm taking that example. Of course,
Okay. Yeah.
everyone can modify according
Yes.
to that. I know I have to teach him one hook step of a new song. Right? These days
Yeah.
it is Gangnam style, and it's so cute. He just
Yeah.
lifts it,
Yes.
he does like this that he's doing Gangnam style. It's so cute. That's my goal.
Yeah.
For you,
Yes.
it could be that you want to teach them a song, or you
Yes.
don't want to spend time with them because you feel that you are feeling anxious, you are feeling depressed, and you need time for yourself. That's okay.
Right.
This week you take for yourself, but you compensate in the next week.
Right.
There
Yeah.
are days when I'm so tired and I want to sleep. And of course, that day I do not spend that much time with my child, but I cannot feel guilty about it because even if I'm sitting with him in that zone, all I'm doing is just, passing the time. He's not feeling the connection. I'm not feeling the connection. What's the point of
Yeah.
it? Right? So this is
Right.
work life management. When I'm working. I have my targets, I have my goals, I focus on them. When it's over, earlier I used to do it every time. Of course, even now, if there is an emergency call, I do attend. But now I'm
Yeah.
strict. 9 to 5 means 9 to 5. I'm not available after that unless you have an emergency. That's it.
Right.
And it was difficult for my patients initially because they were used to, me being, and anything happens, they'll just WhatsApp me. But they
Yeah.
understood that, what she's trying to do is not, uncalled for. She deserves her
Yeah.
time. And I do that. For me, Sundays doesn't work because invariably somebody will call me. Right. So I've stopped taking Sundays off. I just spend 2 months continuously working, then I take a week off. That works for me.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
is the management that I have done. In that week, I
Yes.
do not care where the world goes. I take extra doctor's number, I pass it to my patient, and I tell them, this is the person you call, not me.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is the
Right.
balance that worked for me, not necessarily for everyone, but for me.
Everyone. Yeah.
So don't try to think of balance means you can be everywhere. And with the women, especially, this is a problem because, of course, there is so much on our plate. Even if we are
Yes.
blessed with good husbands, I know mine is great. Still, there are things that only a woman has to do. I have
Yeah.
to feed my baby. My husband can't do it. Right?
Right.
That is going to take away from my time. He cannot help with anything in that. Right? So
Right.
you need to
Yes.
understand it. Stop struggling. This war between men and women, that women are doing more, men are doing less. Yes, because you are a woman. You are the mother. You have to do more. Why
Yes.
are we fighting about it? I don't understand. That she has to take care of the house. Of course, if my husband starts cooking for my baby, he's just going to kill him. I know what to feed my child. I
Yeah.
won't trust anybody else for that. Right?
Right.
So you need to,
Yes.
and I take that as an honor. I take that as a privilege. I don't take it as a burden on me that I'm a
Yeah.
mother or I have to do so much. Yes. But
Right.
how am I able to be sane and how am I able to appreciate that I'm doing so much is I take time for myself. I
Right.
make sure that when I'm tired, I do not care. You need to give me these 2 hours. I need to have some de-stress time. I need to do some things to take care of myself. And you do your thing in 2 hours, then we will talk. And that's why
Right.
what I am doing, I am there. And it doesn't feel like a regret or a resentment. So this is the
So
difference
true.
between
Yeah.
work balance and management. I feel
Management.
management is more practical than
Yes.
balance. Balance is a fancy term that we use.
Right. And I also agree with you when you say that it is very subjective,
Yeah.
and it's completely okay if we see anybody doing in such a way and we differ from that because it's our way. Yeah.
Yes.
And
You
finding
need to have
that particular,
confidence in yourself. And
yeah,
second thing is, you can be wrong. Don't worry about
right.
failing.
Yeah.
I have reached this point with a lot of, frustration and having those days of where am I going and, feeling lost, feeling that what the hell
Yeah.
I've got myself into. I have been there, right?
Yes.
But experimenting, picking up a new try. Let me try this for a few days, let me just try meditation for a week, see if it helps me. It helped. Okay, let me continue. So you need to
Yes.
understand it's your life. Not everybody needs to understand, and you don't have to explain to anyone, right?
True.
You like
Yeah.
something of somebody today, I'll tell you 10 things. You will like two of them. Pick
Yeah.
those. Don't worry about why she said the rest of it and why it's not working.
Yes.
Pick the two, make sure that they work for you, and then you're good to go.
Very true.
Yeah.
Dr. Ruhi, like, do you think there has been an increase in such cases
Yeah.
after the pandemic or during
Yeah.
the pandemic itself?
Yes, definitely. So I have two viewpoints over this. Okay. One is the numbers definitely increases. Okay.
Yeah.
Increased in the last 2 years. Of course, we saw much more cases of anxiety and depression. There was a lot of awareness. There was a lot of
Yes.
acceptance towards coming to a mental health practitioner. Whereas I
Yeah.
also feel one more thing that the pandemic did was the numbers were already there, but they were not doing
Yeah.
anything about it.
Yeah. Correct.
See, somebody who is a little bit anxious, mild to moderate
Yeah.
depression, right? Sometimes they're just functional. It's not necessary
Yeah.
that what they show in movies, depression and matlab they will not get out of bed or they will
Yes.
not do anything. Depression doesn't work that way. People need to understand that, right?
Yeah.
Your next best friend will have depression and you wouldn't know. They will know,
Wouldn't know. Yeah.
right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
mental health disorders don't work that way. So we need to understand that the numbers increased statistically, but what I feel is the people, if they come to me, I ask them when it started, they'll say 10 years ago, right? But the
Yeah.
pandemic either triggered it or gave them the
Yeah.
time to understand that,
Understand.
something is wrong. Or even if it's not about time, it is also about, awareness that, I
Yes.
have the time, let me do something about it.
Right.
So I think it would be cruel to just correlate this that pandemic happened, that's why you got anxiety and depression,
Yeah.
right? Somebody who had anxiety, yes, their symptoms aggravated. Definitely, there were
Yes.
people who, for whom this news itself was very difficult to take. We lost, family members, all of us did. We knew someone or the other who had, got affected by COVID. Definitely, that was a stressor, no doubts about it. But I also feel that underlying the problem was there for a long time. Only thing is it got highlighted in that time frame because maybe you didn't have anything else to do, or maybe because you're frustrated. Now it increased and it came to a level where you couldn't handle on your own. So
Handle.
you
Right.
became, the counted number.
Yes. Doctor, like, have these cases been more prominently seen in women,
Right.
considering they're involved both in household work and also they have to go to office for work?
Right. So see, uh, women, the number of cases of depression are anyways more in women. Okay,
Yeah.
biologically they are more prone to it, and of course environmental stresses are there. But
Yes.
did you hear this news that there is a rise of domestic violence in COVID?
Yes.
You all heard, right?
Yes.
What is
Yeah.
domestic violence? That a male is beating up the woman. That's what we hear. In some cases
Yeah.
now, Johnny Depp showed us that the reverse is also true,
Reverse
right?
is also true. Yeah.
But my question is, the one who is getting beaten up, the victim, is the victim. Yes. The one who is
Yes.
beating them, the perpetrator, why are they doing it?
Right.
If you're going in a
The
sense of
important one.
age, if
Yeah.
you're going in the sense of that, you have come to a level where you are beating the hell out of your partner, what is it
Yeah.
in your mind? Right? So the women got depressed because she got beaten up. But what about the fact that he lost his mind somewhere? Either he's
Yes.
anxious, he's burnout, maybe he's depressed. And males don't know. This is the contrast between the symptoms of depression between males and females, that the females
Right.
internalize, they take it out on themselves, they have sense of guilt, doom, etc. Whereas males express depression as anger.
Yeah.
So if the domestic violence cases are increasing and we are seeing only the victims, why are we not seeing the people who are creating these victims?
Yeah.
What is happening with them? Because we mentioned Johnny Depp case, we are all seeing how poor, this is so sad for Johnny Depp, this happened to him. Yes, it is true.
Yes.
What about the girl who is clearly diagnosed as a narcissistic
Yeah.
personality? Doesn't she need help? It's a very contrast opinion, right? Of course,
Right.
no sympathy
Yeah.
for, we don't have a cluster B personality anyways, isn't it? But
Yes.
we as a mental health professionals can speak about it, that she needs help as much as he does.
Yes.
There's a reason why
Yeah.
she thought this particular way. There's a reason she behaved this particular way. Not in any way
Absolutely. Yeah.
justifying domestic violence. Of course, it has to be punished, right? But we need to
Yes.
understand that that person also need help so that they don't create this havoc in the world. So it increased for women because they had the domestic stressors, but it definitely
Yes.
impacted kids. They lost their jobs. They didn't have any means of
Yeah.
money. And then there is a wife sitting at home, telling them to get the money. Where does the frustration go? Right? So we
Right.
need to we
Yes.
need to always, it's always easy to have one opinion and stick to it. That the numbers
Yes.
increase for women. Yes. Now
Yeah.
another thing, they tell me that all the things women have to do. Ask the housewives first. How many housewives before the pandemic actually told their husbands to do something at home?
Yeah. Right.
Right? They never tell
Yes.
them. I ask them, they will complain. In relationship counseling, whenever I do family therapy or couple therapy, this invariably happens. One of the person will complain, he never understands, never listens, never helps, blah, blah. And did you tell him that?
Yeah.
No, he needs to understand
Yes.
himself. So now the Indian patriarchy is such that the mothers have not taught the sons to do anything.
Right.
And how will the wife do now?
So there has to be a open communication to understand that thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The first rule of creating the work-life balance is that you talk about it, that there is an
Talk about
imbalance,
it. Yeah.
right? You tell
Right.
them that, see, this much is in my capacity. Beyond this, I have no strength to do it. Even if there is a pile of clothes lying there, I have no
Yes.
strength to do it. That's it.
Yeah.
It is as simple as that. But what do the women do?
Right.
Keep on washing and keep on cursing themselves or the other
Yes.
person.
Yeah, they just feel that the other person never values that thing, and they just go on saying, repeating things, and that is how that anxiety gets triggered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not resolving your emotion, it is going to come out as anxiety.
Yes.
Right. So resolve it then and
Yeah.
there. If it's affecting you so much, talk about it. And if the other person doesn't understand, you also stop doing it. See,
Yes.
there is one socio-economic status where, of course, they do not have the house helps and all to do. But
Yeah.
talk to the middle and upper middle class. They have all the help. They want to do it
Yes.
because they want that validation that I did it. And they want that
Yeah.
appreciation. That's half of the
Yes.
reason that
Yeah.
women
Very true. Yes.
for what? You're doing it to get the validation, not because you
Yeah.
want to do it, not because you need to do it. And then the
Yes.
validation is not there because for that other person, either that's not important, or even if it is, they don't want to tell you. Why do you care?
Yeah.
Why are you
Right.
waiting for somebody else to tell you that you are important or what you're doing is significant? And
Yeah.
because then
So rather you can. Yeah.
yeah, or you're leaving all your happiness in somebody else's
Yes.
hand, and then you're coming and telling me that you're not happy. How would you?
Yeah.
So
Very
this is
correct.
the
Yes.
imbalance that happens in the families. So communication, knowing what your strengths and weaknesses are, knowing what your boundaries are,
Yes.
is the first step towards realizing this, head the topic that we have, work-life balance. It starts with you. That is the essential
Yeah.
thing.
The whole management things like gets easy, like
Yeah.
easier even if we communicate openly, and if we understand ourselves what do we need, and we make other people, like at least try to make other people understand what we need.
Yeah. And
That's
if
very
they
true. I
don't, it's
completely
okay
agree.
as well. Just don't wait for
Yeah.
everyone to understand. Sometimes they don't.
Yes.
And that's okay too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, can you give some advice on how women can manage a good work-life balance, or they can manage themselves during this whole work schedule?
Right. Okay. So the first thing is, like we said, have practical targets, right? Don't
Yeah,
try to think that you will have a 8-hour job, 2 hours of, commute time, then you will spend the homework time with your baby, then you will cook also,
yeah,
clean, so take care of the mother-in-law. She should be happy with you. Then the husband should be happy with you. Then you're going to have a great sex life. Then you will have date nights also. Then you'll have movies also. And then you will get your time for the parlor. It's not happening.
yeah,
It's not happening in one day.
right.
Divide. What are your priorities? The easiest way is have your weekly target, then have your daily target. That today I'm going to focus
Yes,
on these two things or these two things. Today I just want to get my nails done. Today I just want to
yeah,
spend my time with my baby, whatever extra time I have. Today I'll give some extra time to my work. That's a good strategy to.
right.
It's the first
Yeah,
thing. Second thing, don't try to do everything on your own.
correct.
Okay?
Yes,
If your husband doesn't love you if you don't cook, don't worry. Even if you cook, he's not going to love you. Okay, your
Yeah.
worth is not dependent on that biryani that you made. And
Yes.
even if it is, it's just sad. Stop doing it to yourself. That you are getting
Yes.
love because you cooked a good biryani.
Cook. Yeah.
Have your own level that I need to be seen
Yeah.
who I am.
That's
Biryani
a part of dignity that plays a great role. Yeah.
right? Third thing is delegate the work as much as possible. So whatever you
Yes.
think somebody else can do, be shameless in asking. There are 10
Yes.
people sitting in your home. It is their home
Absolutely.
as much as yours. To be honest, it's their more. You are the one who got married and came here. Let them take
Yes.
the responsibility. Okay?
Yeah.
And speak out. Initially, respectfully. If it doesn't get hurt, that's okay. What is that Katy Perry song? You're gonna hear me roar. I do believe in that. Be quiet first. If it
Yeah.
doesn't work, if you need to shout, shout. Your point should be
Yes.
addressed. Okay, but the
Right.
problem is we need that validation. We need to be that nice girl, who everybody likes. Then you're going to
Yes.
hate yourself, and then you're going to hate
Yeah.
everybody internally, but yes, externally, everybody will like you. That's a choice you need to make, whether you love
Yes.
yourself more or you let others love you, but then you hate them,
Yeah.
right? So this is there.
Correct.
And then, of course, compartmentalize. This is a simple strategy where you divide the chunks of time that mornings are about this, afternoon about this. Don't mix and match. When you're working, don't think about whether your house help is doing the proper work. When you're checking whether she's working, don't think about the meeting that you have to have,
Yes.
right? So that's how you start with working on yourself.
Very correct. And doctor, please give us some quick wins that can help people to have an effective work-life management or balance. It what we
Right.
see.
Right. So see, because we are mostly talking about the mental health issues here, I would really
Yeah.
request, I'm pretty sure anyone who's watching this or will watch this doesn't have it,
Yeah.
which is a mental health routine.
Yes.
None of us have it. Okay. Trust me, I'm trying
Yeah.
to build it, and every few weeks I fail, but then I come back to it. That's why I'm able to function at this level. Okay. You need
Yeah.
to understand that as much as your physical health is important, mental health is much more important because it is controlling your
Yeah.
physical health as well. Right.
Physics. Yeah.
So, what you need to start with is a simple routine. Okay. You go to YouTube and you see these influencers, they make very fancy videos of routines. I'm pretty sure they're also not following every day. But then the idea is you do it at least 4 to 5 times a week. If not
Yes.
every day, it's okay. Start with a simple routine. It can be as simple as that as soon as you wake up in the morning, just start with a breathing technique of 1 2 minutes, as much as you can do. Write just one or two things of gratitude. Maybe an affirmation. Maybe just ask
Affirmation.
yourself
Yeah.
how you're feeling. Anything. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not asking you to go for a 1 hour, mantra meditation or, some progressive muscle relaxation. That's okay if in the
Right.
beginning you can't do. But having even a sense of 5 minutes of mindfulness that this is my time and I'm taking care of myself hugely impacts your mindset.
Right.
Okay, of
Yeah.
course, 5 minutes might not have that much impact on your health per se,
Yes.
but you'll definitely have a perspective that life is under your control, and that is the most significant thing that anyone can realize in their life, that there is life is a little bit in their hands. So
Yes.
that would be my first suggestion. Okay, that have a mental
Okay.
health routine. Try to do it as often as possible. In the beginning, don't be hard on yourself. Try to do it
Yeah.
maybe 3 times, 4 times a week. Come back to it. Okay,
Yeah.
how do we come back to it? Have a physical reminder. So I have a separate diary, a small A6 size diary, which is just about my mental health routine. I start a habit and I track it. So I'm not very tech savvy, and these digital apps just through my mind. Okay, so what I
Yeah.
do is I keep it in my diary. I start with 2 or 3 habits at a time, and I try to do it as many days consistently as possible. Then, of course, a break comes. It is inevitable. One day, my
Yes.
baby didn't get up on time. One time I had an emergency patient in the hospital. It didn't happen. That's okay. I'll come back to it. After a
Yes.
few days, I feel this is not working for me. I will change it. Right? But it doesn't stop. Essentially,
Right.
what I'm doing is, even if I'm not able to create a particular habit, at least I've got this habit that every day I come back to taking care of myself in one
Yes.
way or
There is a
the other.
continuation in that. Yeah.
Yes. So, with time, and of course, I've been doing this for a long time, I have become my own priority. No one needs to tell me
Yeah.
that, you have to take care of yourself. I know that I have to do something for me. If I'm not
Yes.
feeling okay, I know that I will take time for myself. And it comes
Right.
automatically, right? You wouldn't need any motivational speaker for that. Your body will tell you, your mind will tell you,
Yes.
your soul will tell you that, you're not okay. Just get out, do something for yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes retail therapy works. Sometimes, therapy with Dr. Ruhi works. See which one is working for you.
Yes.
Pick one, right?
Yeah.
You need to understand, and to be honest, shopping is very good for the short term happiness. It works great. Only thing is, it
Yeah.
is much more expensive than going to a therapist. People don't realize that, especially if you're a shopper like me. So it's much more expensive. Okay, so
Yeah.
you need to understand, see what is where you are in your life, see what your
Yes.
needs are. Be very very sure of it that this much I can handle. Beyond this, I have no answers in my life. Fine, go get a therapist. If you have the
Yeah.
answers, try. Make
Yes.
sure you're progressing every day. And you will see that you don't need to go to these fancy workshops and listen to me and get bored. You will find the answers in yourself.
Okay. So, like, this was very enriching. Like, people often face issues, but they lack communication. They often feel that if the other person knows me very well, he or she will definitely understand me, and therefore I need not communicate.
Yeah,
But that's a myth, and we should communicate as much as possible. And we should also stick to our capacity. It's not that I can do two or three works, and because of someone's lack of neglecting things, I'll
yeah,
take his or her work too. That is not the thing. It's like absolute fun and very knowledgeable talking to you. So we will now take questions, Dr. Ruhi.
sure.
Let me just see. Um, yeah, we have one question.
Sure.
Is being too ambitious bad in the long run for mental health?
Okay. Absolutely not. But you need to ask yourself, what is the ambition? Why do you have that ambition? What do you do for your ambition? And then what do you do for
Yeah,
yourself? You
right.
cannot pour from an empty cup. Okay? So being
Yeah,
ambitious is not the problem. I know I'm very ambitious, but I need to know when to stop. I need to know when to take
right,
a break. It is futile that today I do not have the capacity. For some reason, I'm not able to think clearly, and I beat myself up that why am I not able to do it? It's just unnecessary. Life is a journey, happiness is a choice, and your happiness is your problem, nobody else's.
right. Nobody else's. Yes,
So you start with this. Be as ambitious
yes,
as possible. If I tell you my dreams, you'll be like, okay, she's crazy. Okay. But then I have realized half of them. So I think I'm okay. 10 years ago,
yeah,
the things I achieved literally sounded like crazy. But I'm there today. And 10 years
yes,
from now, what I want to achieve now sounds like crazy. But I know that, I will reach there. But not a
yes,
moment sooner. Another
yeah,
part of anxiety is that we want to achieve is that's a problem. We want to achieve it right now.
yeah.
That's another
Correct.
thing. So being ambitious should be about creating something valuable for yourself, achieving your goals, but do not put too much conditions on it. It has to happen
Yeah,
and it has to happen this way and it has to happen right now. Then you are in
correct.
for a mental health problem, and of course, then you will end up in my OPD. But if you
Right.
take care of these things, that you focus on the journey, you focus on targeting these goals, working towards them, but do not put conditions and be kind to yourself, right?
Yes.
If we
Very
have an
important. Yeah.
employee who is working for us, even though we hate them inside कि ये काम क्यों नहीं कर रहा है, we'll still be nice to them because we know that we want them to do the job,
Yes.
right? Be that
Yeah.
person to yourself. You need to be kind to yourself. You need to understand that you have a certain capacity, and even if you want to increase the capacity, it will require some effort and skills on your part. For example, today I don't know,
Right.
I'm not very good with technology. I can't beat myself up for it that I'm working online and I don't know. I can learn, but then I have to
Yes.
give myself time to learn, right? I cannot think that
Correct.
today only I should know everything about it and just realize it, right? So that's something
Right.
that is really, really required in life these days. So you need to be ambitious as much as possible. Always, dream for the best for your life. Never,
Yeah.
never cut short your dreams, but don't put too many
Right.
conditions on it.
Yes. So we need to take those baby steps before putting all the pressures on ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
something
another.
is
Yeah.
cute. I see my baby walking, I see my baby falling, and then he gets up every time. Do we
Yes.
adults do that? I think they call it baby steps for a reason,
Right.
because it's easy to fall, it is easy to get up.
Easy to
But
rise. Yeah.
when we adults fall, I know I have been there, I know we all have been there, but in something we failed, we just left it then and there. So
Yeah.
that's why baby steps, we need to learn so much. I
Right.
think I'm sounding too much like a mother today because I spent too much time with him. But yeah, I think babies teach us, and I think that is why we call it baby steps, because
Yes.
you learn something, you start small, take it, slowly, you fall, you get up again, and eventually you run.
Right. And we don't fear to fall. That's the important thing. Yeah.
Yes. See, maybe we'll have another session on failures. I have a very different view. Of
Yeah.
course, with time, it's not that I was always this philosophical, but I see failures very differently now than I used to 10 years ago. So maybe we'll talk about it some other time. But
For
fear of
sure. Yeah.
failure, it's literally like, you are telling me you failed at this. Okay, but who said that you were supposed to win?
Yeah.
You are the
Nice.
one.
Yes.
And you can always change the version, you can always change the narrative, right? When
Right.
we were born, we didn't come with a manual, na, कि if she didn't score 90% in the 12th standard, then she is worthless. Who
Yes.
said? I think when humans were created, we didn't even have the concept of 12th standard, right?
Right.
So who created
Correct.
these guidelines and rules, right?
Yes.
So something to think about.
Yeah. Doctor, there is another question. Um, I think the person is asking how to maintain work-life balance with mental health problems.
Okay. So if you already have a mental health problem, first thing is get treated for them, right?
Yes.
So you need to get treated. You need to first tell me what your problem is so I can give particular answers. Second thing is, if you feel that it's a long term illness, for example, some people have chronic depression, for example, they have long term anxiety, you need to have a therapist by your side. I
Right.
know that people started therapy with me 2 years ago, they got better within 3, 4 months, but they catch up with me every few months. They just give me a
Yeah.
quick update and they take a few tips from me. They don't need treatment right now, but they need,
Right.
it's like having a mentor, it's like having a buddy with you, that you can
Yes.
dump your bad things up and you can just take something positive and take home. So having a
Yeah.
therapist changes your life. That is, the
Correct.
most short way of saying it. I have seen people who couldn't come out of the room for 2 years, and now I know that one of my patients recently got promoted to one of the biggest companies in the world, and 2 years ago, he had not left his room for 1 year, whole 1 year. That's when he came to me. It's that level of depression. And today is
Yeah.
wonderful. I look at him and I am amazed that, such a transformation in life. I wish I have that in
Yeah.
my life, that, I changed so much within 1 or 2 years that I look back and I'll be
Yes.
like, oh, who is this person? So therapist changes your life. There is no smaller word to it. Only thing is
Yeah.
matter of finding the right one. Right one doesn't mean that the therapist is wrong or you are at the wrong place. Who clicks for you, right?
Yes.
You will find that therapist that you resonate with, their ideology meets yours, that you
Yeah.
feel that what they say connects with you. Have one by your side and you will see that you progress much more. They will take away your pain, they'll take away your shortcomings, they'll give you the shorter cuts and the easy
Yeah.
access, and then you progress.
Yes.
Just having a good teacher. So a psychologist or a therapist or a
Right.
psychiatrist is a mental health professional, so they are trained in that way. So that would be a good idea. And the last would
Yeah.
be, again, baby steps, right? Do not have expectations that are beyond that capacity. Take it
Yes.
slow, right? Have smaller goals,
Yeah.
achieve them, get that momentum of doing things, then think of the bigger
Then
things.
think of
And
that.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you'll achieve all of them, no doubts about it, whoever is looking.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very right. And like I have one personal thing to ask Dr. Ruhi,
sure.
that what exactly do you would you like to recommend to the audience who have breakdowns during the work itself?
Okay. So
So how to manage that thing?
that's purely burnout and anxiety, right? Okay. So
Yeah.
in the moment when you're having a breakdown, you only need to focus on coming out of it. Don't try to solve the problem. That's the worst thing people
Yeah.
do. And don't try to tell you that, it's okay. Somebody is anxious कि मेरी job चली जाएगी, and someone will be like, it's okay. How is it okay? In that
Yeah.
moment, the brain is literally fired up. Cortisol is high. You're on crisis mode. You're not thinking straight. You're only thinking the worst case scenario. How can you come and tell me that things will be good? My mind is not going to believe it. And furthermore, it is going to be more frustrated. If I could be not anxious, I will not be anxious. I will not be having a crisis right now. Correct?
Yeah.
So you
Yes.
need to see it that way. In that moment, what you do is ground yourself to deep breathing techniques. There are many: box breathing, 2 to 4, 2, 7, 8, whatever you like. Just search for the one. Otherwise, go to my page. There are many. I'll share with you. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Post on your wall. Pick one breathing technique. Practice it every day. And another mistake that people do is, okay, I've seen this technique. I'll use it when I'm anxious.
Yeah.
It's like I never practiced for Olympics and today I want a gold medal. Is it possible?
No.
Right? So what you need to do
Yeah.
is have one breathing technique, have one grounding technique, any technique that works for anxiety. Practice it when you're not anxious. That's what I do with my patients. I tell them, and they are
Oh.
like, जब भी anxiety होगा तभी करना है. मैंने कहा तभी नहीं कर पाओगे. तभी
Hmm.
आएगा जैसे
Right.
दिमाग में के शांत होना है, राइट. बट
Hmm.
इफ यू आर
Yeah.
अवेयर कि यार मुझे एंजाइटी होती है और जब होगी मुझे ये करना है एंड आई नो हाउ टू डू इट ऑलरेडी, यू कैन डू इट इन दैट मोमेंट. सो इफ यू आर हैविंग अ
Right.
bit of breakdowns and burnouts, first thing is start taking care of yourself. Have some mental health routine like we have talked about earlier in the session. Try to do some relaxation techniques, progressive muscle relaxation, box breathing, deep relaxation, diaphragmatic breathing, whichever works for you. Make it a routine
Yes.
part of your life as much as possible. Second thing is, of course, start therapy. Start with somebody, where you can just check with your problems, see why you are having these burnouts, because it is not just the mental health that gets affected. Stress is directly
Right.
related with heart diseases, cancer, strokes, all of these deadly illnesses. Just
True.
check why you are having it and you need to sort this out. It should not be happening to you. Do not, people tell me, you need to teach me how to deal with anxiety. I said, I'm not going to teach you how to deal with anxiety. I have to teach you how to
Yeah.
not be anxious.
Yes.
Being anxious is not a
Right.
natural phenomena. You should not be anxious every day. That's what you need to learn. What is
Yeah.
anxiety management? I hate the word, that you just get satisfied कि जब भी anxiety होगा, I'm fine. No, no, not be anxious, na. Work on that.
Right.
That should be the goal. Right? Of course, then
Right.
anxiety
Yeah.
management comes as a stepping stone. That of course,
Yes.
I can't think of doing big things with you if you can't just manage this. That's a later goal, but definitely a part of it, not the whole story.
Right. Doctor, there is a last question that we would be taking.
Sure.
It's a quick question. How to treat the mental problems without medicine? Because anytime we go, they prescribe medication for longer periods, like 1 year.
Okay. So see, if you have that type of an illness, you need to understand you need medications for longer duration.
Yes.
That's why the doctors
Yeah.
are giving it. And there is no shying in that. For example, if somebody is diabetic, they need lifelong medications. I'm not going to
Yeah.
tell them that it looks bad, so stop the medicine. A mental health
Right.
issues is as much biological as your diabetes or your BP. They need, if there is some chemical imbalance in their body, that is why they are requiring the medication. Similarly, you have
Right.
some neurochemical imbalance, so you need the medication. That's the
Yeah.
first answer. If you need it, you need it. Just do what is right for you. The second part is, of course, to cut short the treatment, the answer is therapy. For example, if somebody has anxiety depression, it is effectively seen that if they take simultaneously counseling sessions, because you are working on your mindset and working on the triggers and the thoughts that are causing the anxiety or depression, it helps relieving the symptoms earlier. So yes, you need, even if one thing is, of course, you can reduce the duration. Second thing is, even if you can't do that, you can at least reduce the dose that you are taking.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
important, right? So instead of 3 tablets, if you need one, and even if for a longer time, it's okay. Do what is right for you.
Yes.
Don't worry about other people's opinion.
But
And to be
definitely
honest,
that thing will do good to us only. Yeah.
you have to. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
You have to see it as
Yeah.
an illness. You don't have to see it as some fantasy. It's not like you're creating it so you can stop it on your own, right? It's an
Right.
illness. If it is a mental health illness, it is an illness. It's biologically
Right.
proven. Then you need medication for it. So in no way
True.
I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you that if you need medicine, find another way. I know of people who spend lakhs of rupees on Ayurveda and then they come to me. They have done homeopathies. I'm not against any treatment, but I've seen it failing so many times that I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
And, they wasted 5, 6 years of their life on these treatments, lakhs of rupees, and then all they needed is 100 rupee ki goliyan. खा लो ना यार, क्या जा रहा है,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
It's just 100 rupees a month. Just take it and get over it, and you are fine. Why are you
Yes.
wasting your time? You're wasting your life for what, right?
Yeah.
So
True.
that would be my opinion.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruhi, for joining us, and thank you everyone who put up your questions. And if you have any more questions, please reach out to Dr. Ruhi. She's amazing with dealing these kind of problems. She's amazing while guiding us through mental problems that we are going through, and
I'm sorry,
hope to
I
see
would
you
like
again.
to take this one question. I'm sorry. There is
Uh,
somebody who has written why anxiety and depression
yeah,
medicine
yeah,
is scared because whenever we discuss, nobody recommends. I am pretty sure that
yeah,
the people that you are discussing with, sir or ma'am, whoever you are, your name is unisex. But you need to understand that this is not a mental health professional who is not recommending you medicine. You are talking to. It's literally like मुझे बैंक में problem है and I'm going to somebody who owns a hospital, right? You need to understand that if you need opinion about mental health disorders, take it from mental health professionals. Go to one psychiatrist, go to five, go to 10. I have no problem with that. Take opinions from 10 doctors, but take it from doctors, psychiatrists, not other doctors. They are not aware. It's literally like somebody coming and asking me कि cancer का क्या करना है. I don't know. I don't know.
right,
So I shouldn't be giving opinion. And it is sad that
exactly,
sometimes, we see physicians and all giving opinions about mental health treatment. They shouldn't be doing that. It is sad.
right,
It's sad reality of, our country that sometimes doctors will tell you that you need to stop this medication. They are not a psychiatrist. They are not trained in that field. How do they know? Right? So, sir,
right, yes,
whoever is telling you that, you should not take it, if they are mental health professionals, then we will have this question. If they are not mental health professionals, I just render this question only moot because it's just not required. It's not a valid question. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Um, Thank you, Dr. Ruhi. Like, you're so kind to take this one last question. I know it's going beyond your
I
time.
sent once, they sent it again, and this is a very important question, so I wanted to
Yeah.
answer. Yeah. All
Um, Thank you so much again, and we will connect again with another session and with another doubt, and also we will decode many more things regarding mental health, which is the
needs.
key thing to maintain our body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lovely talking to you as always, and really looking forward to some good topics like this. Okay, not just anxiety.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm tired
Yes.
of talking about it, but definitely we can have it in bits and parts. But topics like
Yes.
this always make me feel good because we need to talk about these things, and I don't
Exactly.
think
Yeah.
that there is enough information. We have like I said, we have the technical terms, what is work-life balance, but I don't think people understand it. So I'm
Yes.
glad we talked about it.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Take
Dr.
care.
Rohi.
All right. Have a lovely week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.